Elon Musk is the Tony Stark of our time, equal parts billionaire inventor mastermind and eccentric public figure. His companies have the ability to change the world as we know it, but just how good is Elon Musk actually? To understand the enigma of Elon Musk, we need to start at the beginning. The start of Elon's life in 1971 was marked by a particularly good roll of the dice. Elon's dad, Elon Musk, made a big bag off of an emerald mine in South Africa. While the Musk family occupied great status during the apartheid period, an interesting note about that family history is that Elon Musk had an uncharacteristic stance of wealthy people at the time. Elon was a part of the anti-apartheid Progressive Party in South Africa, and stated that his children shared his dislike of apartheid, Elon included. But South Africa would be too small for the aspiring computer whiz. At the age of 10, Elon cemented a passion for computers and coding. 2 years later, he sold the source code for a game that he created to an industry trade magazine for $500. It's called Blastar. This showcased his entrepreneurial spirit at a developmental age, and such a penchant would follow him throughout the rest of his life up to today. It also demonstrated his aptitude for making complex things into easily marketable and highly lucrative prospects. By the time he became an adult in 1989, he'd moved to Canada, and then, in 1992, he transferred to the University of Pennsylvania, where he'd earned dual degrees in physics and economics. Much like our fictional Tony Stark, the real Elon Musk had technical expertise, and he would apply that to the breadth of his professional adventures, and present them in a way that was flashy, substantive, and totally badass. In 1996, Elon Musk was pursuing more education, until he wasn't. He dropped out of Stanford University after attending for 2 days, and co-founded Zip2. Zip2 was another example of Musk's propensity for problem solving, and finding gaps in markets where he could be of use, often way ahead of everybody else. The idea was simple, but revolutionary for the time. During an internship Elon was working at, somebody badly pitched a Yellow Pages sale, and this got him thinking. He combined informational accessibility of Yellow Pages with the search functionality of the internet to create Zip2, the first online business directory. Anybody can Google anything nowadays, but in 1996, this was pretty rare. Elon and his brother Kimball were bullish on the idea, and went out on a limb together to make it work. They borrowed money from their father, and lived in their office to save on expenses. This was online commerce at a time where not everybody was convinced of the internet's efficacy yet. They had to get sales going the old-fashioned way, knocking on doors and cold calls. The Musk brothers were entering a market dominated with already well-established players, Yahoo and AOL. But Elon didn't care. He was so confident in his product that he kept at it, persistently. And despite what people would tell him to the contrary, Zip2 positioned itself as a unique solution to the comparative clumsiness of a big fat physical business repository like Yellow Pages or a Rolodex. The biggest media companies were busy tackling much more complicated things: advertising, hosting, sponsors, and the like. Elon's keen senses for business would follow him with the rest of his companies moving forward. Elon's contribution to the online world with a system like Zip2 paved the groundwork for things to follow like Google Maps. The feat was so remarkable in the world of e-commerce that the company got contracts at the New York Times and the Chicago Tribune. Compaq bought Zip2 for $307 million, and Musk made $22 million off of the sale. Transitioning from Zip2, Elon would take that money to a new adventure that would take him even higher. That part of the story revolves around a little app you may have heard of called PayPal. Well, it wasn't called PayPal yet. In 1999, Elon would found what was then called X.com. Not quite the X.com you're thinking of. What a lot of people don't know about Elon's history with the letter X is that it goes all the way back to his very first business endeavors during the dot-com boom. He co-founded what eventually became PayPal, which was bought by eBay in 2002 for $1.5 billion, making Elon $165 million. And maybe you see the trend now. No matter what happened internally at the companies Elon worked at, he always set his eyes forward and was able to take the money he got and make it into something more. His business acumen and technical ability meshed well with his ability to pinpoint hard-hitting ideas that a ton of people could get behind. But the cash he had in hand now wouldn't be used for something cookie-cutter anymore. Now Elon had real startup money, and his next project had cosmic ambitions: privatized space travel. By 2002, Elon had regularly been in touch with an organization called the Mars Society, an organization that lobbies for Martian colonization by humans. In that, Elon shares the company of Buzz Aldrin and James Cameron in being a member of it. It's useful to talk about because Elon's obsession with Mars seems to be a recurring theme for the guy. Elon has talked at length about the importance of space colonization and posits it as necessary for humanity to grow from, including putting $100 million down out of his pocket. In fact, the goal of his newly founded company, Space Exploration Technologies Corp., or more commonly, SpaceX, was just that: to make spaceflight cheaper, and one day, colonize Mars. In his own words, the goal of SpaceX is to enable humans to become a spacefaring civilization and a multi-planet species by building a self-sustaining city on Mars. We don't want to be one of those single-planet species. We want to be a multi-planet species. This ambition got the attention of the US government. NASA administrator at the time, Mike Griffin, gave SpaceX's Falcon 1 rocket a big fat development contract, eerily reminiscent of Iron Man's own defense contract. Elon's rockets were at the behest of the Department of Defense. The goal? Prove private companies could get reliable and cost-effective cargo and crew transport to the ISS. This would take a load off of NASA, because, and this may shock you, going to space is very, very expensive. Equally shocking is that rocket science is hard. In 2006, a Falcon 1 rocket failed. In 2007, another one failed. In 2008, another one failed. But Elon didn't quit, and that persistence would pay dividends for the rest of his life. They finally got the rocket working on the fourth attempt in 2008, right before the company was going to declare for bankruptcy. In return, SpaceX got a $1.6 billion commercial resupply services contract from NASA for 12 flights of the newer Falcon 9 rocket and Dragon spacecraft to the ISS. Where did this little space capsule get its name? It's an example of Elon's wit. Reportedly, he named the machine after the old song Puff the Magic Dragon in response to critics who considered his spaceflight projects impossible. Much like Tony Stark, Elon's hands-on approach and constant tinkering with his projects culminated in some of the greatest leaps for tech and science across the globe. Elon was awarded the George Low Transportation Award in 2008 from the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics for his development on the Falcon rockets. Was this just nepotism? No. It turns out Elon is pretty smart when it comes to rockets. Elon was a money guy, but he had technical acumen when it came to design, too. According to a SpaceX engineer, Elon was involved in the design of the engines, the avionics, and the vehicle structures. He wasn't just a money guy, he was a key part of the engineering team. Elon is a hands-on CEO who's always pushing the envelope, and he's most assuredly responsible for making spaceflight more affordable thanks to SpaceX. Around the same time, Musk was working on revolutionizing space travel with SpaceX. He was also pushing the boundaries in the automotive industry with a company called Tesla. Under Musk's leadership, the company introduced their first car to market, the Tesla Roadster, in 2008. The Roadster wasn't just any electric car. It was a high-performance sports car that broke several records and shattered the public perception of what electric vehicles could achieve. At the time, electric cars were pretty underwhelming. They were either weird statement pieces, purely practical, or just plain ugly looking. The Roadster was based on the sleek Lotus Elise, known for its prestige and refinement. The Roadster wasn't a boring hybrid. It was elegant, exciting, and sexy. One conventionally held belief about electric cars at the time was lackluster performance. The Roadster dispelled this notion by showcasing the power of electric powertrains, with a crazy 0 to 60 speed of just 4 seconds. More than that, the Roadster wasn't just a vanity project. It was a technological revolution in the making. The Roadster was the first production car to use lithium-ion batteries with a range of over 200 miles on a single charge. This innovation alone was groundbreaking, setting a new standard for what electric vehicles could achieve, both in the mind and in the heart. And if that wasn't enough, you didn't need to go through the hassle of a dealership. Teslas were sold to you personally, a novel approach that underscored Musk's vision of transforming the automotive buying experience. The direct-to-consumer sales model eliminated middlemen, ensuring better customer service and direct feedback for continuous improvement. Because Elon's a man of the people, he wants everybody to experience the great advances of technology and engineering. Elon Musk drove the Roadster's success, no pun intended, with his vision for sustainable energy and technological innovation. His unique blend of business savvy and engineering expertise made him and the Roadster stand out. Under his leadership, Tesla created a high-performance electric car and built a comprehensive suite of products and services, including extensive supercharger networks for convenient long-distance travel and Powerwall home batteries for sustainable energy storage, totally changing the ground game for this type of product. The Roadster kickstarted the EV market in a big way. Electric cars could be practical, capable of being produced at mass market, and most importantly, they could be desirable. Elon Musk's vision, risk-taking, and dedication to innovation have been instrumental in making electric vehicles mainstream, reshaping the automotive industry, and setting the stage for a sustainable future. Without Elon, electric vehicles just don't look the same. In 2010, Tesla Motors finally went public, raising $226 million. An American car company hadn't gone public since the Ford Motor Company did in 1956. Talk about trailblazing. But Mr. Musk wasn't done just yet. He was only getting started. After the Roadster set the stage, the Model S would be the star of the show. A sleek, elegant sedan that could compete with the likes of the BMW i-Series. But this car was doing something the Roadster wasn't doing. The Model S would start an important conversation, the Autopilot system, a major step in automated driving technology that had never been thought possible. Just like previous ventures, Elon was willing to part ways with his cold hard cash to take risks and push the envelope. And the Model S was no exception to his ambitious work philosophy. While not quite ready yet, nevertheless, The initial prototypes of the Autopilot made public headway. Musk took advantage of the internet to market Tesla quite a bit and made numerous public appearances promoting the design, much like Tony Stark's own technology expos. Musk didn't just want Tesla to be a gimmick. He wanted this company to change the way people thought about electric vehicles and cars in general. Like other electric vehicles, its acceleration was blistering. But this car would be even more practical than the Roadster, with a longer battery range. It had, and still has, more mileage than some gas-powered cars now. Long-distance travel in a Tesla was affordable and feasible, not just a claim of, we'll get there one day. The Tesla Model S was one of a kind. It combined luxury, performance, and advanced technology to redefine what electric vehicles could achieve. The interior of the Model S was also where some of Elon's all-encompassing vision for his company shined, giving a space-age feel with a wide panoramic roof. But an interesting component of Elon's approach was accessibility. The Elon Musk Foundation provides funding to support autism research, and the experience of driving a Tesla is particularly accommodating for people with autism. Tesla cars are quiet. The cabin uses advanced insulation techniques to reduce external noise. Special glass for the windows, special foam for the floor mats, an aerodynamic design that minimizes wind resistance, like its iconic flush door handles. More recently, some Teslas have active noise cancellation. Musk's vision for an accessible car also extends to a policy of incorporating feedback from customers, including those with autism and other sensory conditions, to continue innovating in the design process. Tesla vehicles prove themselves as truly remarkable machines, hugely affecting the automotive landscape. One after another, every car company you could think of started making their own electric vehicles, some of which are quite good. But Tesla can be credited as the first company to really get the ball rolling. Elon is a man of firsts. First electric cars, and now, first reusable rockets. The success of the Falcon 1 rocket provided a framework for private space travel that hadn't existed before. The federal government was attracted to these ideas, both Tony Stark's and Elon Musk's, naturally, since it cut down on money and time spent. And Elon's vision of affordable space travel lined up perfectly. In particular, Uncle Sam was looking for a way to get people to the ISS without the space shuttle. One of the problems the space shuttle had was reusability. Usage of the shuttle was extremely expensive, and parts required constant replacement. Spaceflight in general is dangerous too, and 2 tragic incidents involving the shuttle proved that as well. To get around these issues, Elon spearheaded development of the Dragon capsule. The Dragon was, and still is, a truly remarkable piece of spacecraft engineering. The Dragon features yet more reusable materials, significantly reducing costs. Its thrust system reduces weight and complexity. It had an injection system in cases of catastrophic failure, a more streamlined design with less independent parts, and you could use it over and over again, which was revolutionary at this point. Not only was the Dragon cheaper, it was safer, and it was modular too. Dragon is capable of being outfitted for crew or cargo missions. In 2012, the Dragon capsule became the first commercial spacecraft to dock with the ISS. It was a significant advancement not just in the world of commercial spaceflight, but spaceflight in general. Because of this, Elon was awarded the Royal Aeronautical Society's Gold Medal for his outstanding contributions to the aerospace industry, particularly for the advancements achieved with the Dragon capsule and SpaceX's broader impact. SpaceX was proving that the private sector is more than capable of tackling this gargantuan task. But that was the tip of the iceberg for SpaceX's success. There was also the horse Dragon rode in on, the Falcon 9 rocket. Now that private spaceflight was possible, it was time to move on to the big dream for SpaceX. Continuing on the success of the Falcon 1, the Falcon 9 continued Elon's quest for truly reusable rockets. This machine was going to be unique, in that it could land back on the surface of the Earth safely after delivering its cargo. This wasn't just a minor convenience. Not having to can the whole rocket means costs for these kinds of launches could be reduced by a factor of 10. Nobody was pursuing reusable rockets like Elon was. Everybody else thought he was crazy, but he persisted, applying his engineering expertise to the design of the machine, like he always did. Falcon 9 can still complete the mission even if one of the engines gives out. And these engines also use a rare, refined form of rocket fuel. Its parts are lightweight and robust. Its construction, unlike anything else too. SpaceX rockets use lightweight and strong materials, as well as 3D printing for certain parts, making everything more closely integrated and less reliant on other companies outside of SpaceX. Falcon 9 would go on to become a workhorse delivery system. Meanwhile, as transportation to the stars was undergoing a paradigm shift, Elon was also working silently in the background on a revolutionary concept for transportation on planet Earth. In 2013, Musk published a white paper called Hyperloop Alpha, and it would showcase his visionary thinking once more. Hyperloop was a new tube transportation technology that could rapidly transport people underground. He claimed once again, seeming to echo the sentiment across his companies, that it wouldn't just be fast, it would be affordable. You know the tubes you use to make deposits at the bank from your car? Kinda like that, except a lot bigger, with people inside. The system would use self-sustaining technology, with solar panels on the surface, making it eco-friendly, as well as capable of operating unto itself. Elon positioned the Hyperloop as a much more efficient alternative to the California high-speed rail system that was being proposed at the time. His novel approach here has caught the attention of the world. Companies like Hyperloop Transportation Technologies are keeping the dream alive. While a working Hyperloop as Elon envisioned it has yet to be built at the scale he imagined in 2013, a lot of copycats have come since then to try and make it work. And the concept for the loop, which isn't to be confused with Hyperloop, promises to alleviate congested traffic across the world by tunneling underground. Right now, this is being done in Las Vegas, all thanks to him. But we'll get to that later. Hyperloop's white paper kickstarted a public transportation revolution, but SpaceX was taking up most of Elon's time. From 2013 to 2015, Falcon 9 rockets were used for a number of resupply missions to the ISS and to launch communications satellites. 5 rockets over the course of that time either landed in the ocean or crashed, but each failure was iterated upon the last one. By the 6th rocket, they pulled it off. In December of 2015, a Falcon 9 first-stage rocket landed at Cape Canaveral safely. All of this represented the vision of Elon Musk's corporate ambition. Unlike a lot of corporate guys, Elon understands the importance of failure. Many would have been ready to write off SpaceX as a lost cause by the 3rd or even the 2nd Falcon 1 crash. But Elon's persistence and diligence kept the projects moving. And now, SpaceX has pioneered a new vision for what space travel can look like. Elon's a visionary, and if you can believe it, if SpaceX and Tesla weren't enough for the guy, he had another idea yet. Elon Musk wasn't just about starting companies, he was about creating ecosystems. And his ecosystem was going to give Apple a run for their money. Elon's pursuit of green energy encapsulates his corporate objectives. A great example of this is SolarCity, a company Elon supported with financial backing to his cousins. SolarCity's mission: make solar energy affordable and accessible for homeowners, businesses, and government organizations. While Falcon 9 was setting a new standard for what space travel could look like, Elon had been behind the scenes helping SolarCity become the largest residential solar installer in the United States by 2015. SolarCity used solar leases and power purchase agreements to make solar energy accessible for more people, negating the need of high upfront cash. That's Mr. Musk for you. Power to the people. Once again, Elon Musk applied his engineering acumen to a project the company was working on, continuing his Stark-like hands-on approach with the design process. This time, SolarCity's calling card was the solar roof. Unlike regular solar panels, solar roofs had solar cells integrated into the tiles, making them look like standard roofing materials, and maybe even a bit better looking than what was usually on the market. Again, according to Musk's vision, cutting-edge tech didn't just have to be dorky looking and boring, it could be sleek and stylish, something you could be proud of owning. Tesla also claims they're 3 times stronger than standard roofing tiles, offering a 25-year warranty. So what's not to like? Tesla expands its market by offering customers a complete energy system, including a solar roof, a Powerwall, and a Tesla electric vehicle. This integration creates a sort of Elon Musk ecosystem, allowing more people to afford cutting-edge technology. The early adoption of this technology has been a net positive for humanity, bringing advanced engineering to the average person, like our friend Tony Stark. Tony builds Stark Tower in New York, powered by a self-sustaining arc reactor, serving as a symbol of his technological prowess and vision for clean energy. Similarly, Tesla's focus on power generation at the flip of a switch led to the creation of a mini power grid in American Samoa in 2016, running on sunshine and Tesla power packs. This initiative enabled the island to switch to clean energy and reduce its carbon footprint, echoing Stark's ambition for sustainable energy solutions. In October 2015, Autopilot 1.0 for Tesla vehicles rolled out, and that would mean more market attention for Elon's products in general, which was convenient because the solar roof works seamlessly with the Tesla Powerwall energy storage system. Installation of the solar roof eliminates the need for separate roofing and solar installations. Financing and power purchase agreements lower the cost barrier, making it an attractive option in a difficult housing market. SolarCity plays a significant role in Elon's green energy approach, providing affordable and sustainable solutions to the climate crisis that every person can get in on. He successfully eliminated the costly barrier to entry for the working family. Elon's capacity to work on different things at the same time is unparalleled in the business world, and the next couple of years would show that. He helped start another company called OpenAI. Its mission? To develop AI technologies that could benefit all of humanity. Yet still, he was one of the first guys to raise the alarm on AI, stating that it poses the greatest existential threat to humanity.
The danger of AI is much greater than the danger of nuclear warheads.
That same year, he was a co-signatory along with Stephen Hawking and many others on the Open Letter on Artificial Intelligence. Sounds like Tony Stark would have signed that letter too, after having to deal with Ultron. In 2016, Elon would co-found Neuralink, a neurotechnology company working on creating brain-machine interfaces, with the goal of helping humans think faster than computers one day. And he also started the Boring Company, which continued the tunneling projects we mentioned earlier, but the ground game for that wouldn't start for another year. First, another product at Musk's direction that reflects an affordable vision would be the Tesla Model 3, released next year in the spring of 2016. At this point, electric cars were certainly novel, but a tough selling point was the price. They were associated with high-end tech, luxury items for only the most wealthy of motorists. The Model 3 would change that, too. It started at a price of $35,000. This is the car that really broke it all wide open. So not only could a new homeowner have a cutting-edge power source for their everyday needs, they could have a cutting-edge car that charged at your house. No need to go to the gas station. Just plug it in and you're good to go. It was an attractive system that Elon was building. By 2017, the Tesla Model 3, alongside a whole new network of Tesla semi-trucks, would hit American highways. Trucks are a major point of contention when it comes to climate and infrastructure. They're big and wear down roads while spewing out emissions. But due to America's heavy reliance on roads, they're the only way a lot of people can get food in their stomach. The Tesla Semi, alongside the pioneering tech of Tesla Autopilot, could completely change the way logistics are operated across the country. The Tesla Semi is an interesting point to fixate on because it's unlike any semi-truck currently on the American road. One problem conventional trucks have is visibility, requiring them to have a ton of clearance to see what's behind them, as well as what's in the blind spots along the wide back end. The company's patented Tesla Vision system gives a full 360-degree field of vision around the vehicle, and also provides information for the Autopilot. The Tesla Semi can accelerate from 0 to 60 in just 5 seconds, much faster than traditional diesel trucks. Tesla's semi-truck fleet promises to alleviate the safety and efficiency downsides of conventional freight trucks too. Tesla Semis are less likely to have jackknife or rollover accidents from their design. A suite of automated safety features also complements the truck. This helps to reduce a large number of fatigue-related road safety incidents. And the Tesla Semi is just more efficient. Tesla themselves claim that charging this truck with electricity is approximately 2 times cheaper per mile than refueling with diesel, and that operators can see estimated fuel savings of up to $150,000 within their first 3 years of ownership. Musk was proving something. He wasn't just creating a new electric age for cars, he was helping push humanity to the next step. In February of 2017, the Boring Company would start a test tunnel in California near SpaceX HQ. And by 2018, it announced a plan with the Los Angeles Metro to develop a tunnel system and reduce traffic congestion. In a little over a decade, Elon developed a lengthy, comprehensive resume with his hands in so many different operations, it can make your head spin. It makes sense that he seems to work crazy hours. All of these different companies encompass a vision he has for sustainable energy, and it got world governments and prestigious science organizations paying attention. Because of his contributions to science and engineering, particularly in SpaceX and Tesla's accomplishments, Elon would earn the distinction of being elected as a Fellow of the Royal Society in 2018. Fellowship in this highly decorated and long-lived science academy includes the likes of Albert Einstein, Charles Darwin, and Isaac Newton, just to name a few. Elon's ambition put him at the forefront of cutting-edge technology that made its way into the hands of consumers across the world. Riding the momentum of his membership in this esteemed organization, Elon went right back to work on more state-of-the-art tech at SpaceX. With the launch pad ready, he set his eyes on Mars. Now, there was no going back. For Elon, it's the red planet or bust. By now, we've painted a picture of a multifaceted Elon empire, created through his companies. All of his companies have aligned goals, and all of them, in some way, shape, or form, contribute to the advancement of humanity and our relationship with technology. Think about it. Electric cars are cool, but what they really emphasize is the feasibility of electric power generation. Neuralink's brain-machine interface technology could help astronauts adapt to living conditions that are inherently hostile to normal life, and Starlink proves that internet access can be done anywhere across the planet and other planets as well. The master plan, according to Elon, has to do with making humans a multiplanetary species. In 2018, Elon would check another box on that checklist when SpaceX was responsible for getting 2 prototype Starlink satellites into orbit. These satellites were important for proving one thing: that satellite internet wasn't just a pipe dream. It was fast, effective, and able to be used by a wide variety of people. The dual prototypes demonstrated the feasibility of creating a vast constellation of satellites to provide high-speed internet across the face of the Earth, thus supporting Musk's vision of connecting remote areas and laying the groundwork for interplanetary communication networks. He sought to deploy thousands of small satellites in low Earth orbit to create a blanket of internet coverage across the pale blue dot, aligning with his broader vision of advancing humanity through technology and ensuring that even the most remote areas on Earth, and eventually other planets, have reliable internet access. Starlink could be pivotal for maintaining a communications connection between Earth and Mars, and that's just one step closer to the goal of colonizing than we've ever seen. Every little step has giant ramifications, and in recent memory, he's come a long way in this revolutionary step for humankind, all because of his forward-thinking approach and risk-taking for the sake of scientific pursuit. SpaceX would continue making leaps and bounds. In the same year that Starlink's prototypes would go into orbit, the company launched the Falcon Heavy rocket, the most powerful operational rocket at the time, and with it, a very special piece of cargo. Elon's Tesla Roadster, that he used for commuting, was given a first-class ticket to a one-of-a-kind commute. This Roadster was jettisoned in vacuum and set to the stars. Elon's Starman would give back some good data for the SpaceX mission. It was a pretty smart publicity stunt when you think about it. People who never would have paid attention before were intrigued by the idea of a car in space.
His own kind of rocket man on board a Tesla Roadster into orbit.
But more importantly, this proved that Falcon Heavy could send payloads into precise orbits. The Roadster's exposure to space also provided valuable data for spacecraft design, crucial for future missions to Mars. Falcon Heavy is an important cornerstone of Elon's vision because it can help assist with deep space missions, thanks to its massive carrying capacity, as well as precise delivery. It's like the freight truck of rockets. But there was more where that came from. Off of the success of the Falcon Heavy, Elon kept the ball rolling with the quaintly named Starship. This spacecraft is designed to carry crew and cargo to a number of destinations, including Earth, the Moon, Mars, and beyond. It's intended for a crew of up to 100 people, and can be used for point-to-point transport on Earth, capable of going anywhere in the world in less than an hour. Like every other rocket Elon has worked on, Starship showcases his iterative and incremental development process that involves frequent testing, learning from failures, and continuous improvement, demonstrating his commitment to innovation. Elon's deep technical knowledge benefits the Starship in the case of its coveted Raptor engines, which are powered by liquid methane and liquid oxygen, ideal for refueling on the Red Planet. The Starship is a game changer when it comes to rocket tech. Let's face it, rockets aren't exactly eco-friendly, but Elon's Starship is as close as it gets. It's all about maximizing fuel usage, and it's designed for the biggest journey ever, reaching other planets. Elon, kind of like Tony Stark, was super involved in its design and pushed for its revolutionary tech. Elon's all about making high-tech stuff for regular people, and he's big on sustainability. He wants to make space travel accessible to everyone, not just a select few. Starship isn't just a ride to Mars. It's proof that we can create an interplanetary transportation network like no other. But the transportation network of the future was at home, too. Not just in a galaxy far, far away. In 2019, the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority approved the Boring Company's Loop system and started digging in October. Just 4 months later, the first tunnel was complete, just in the nick of time for a worldwide economic catastrophe. But even when the pandemic caused chaos in 2020, SpaceX kept moving forward, and Elon's companies assisted in the storm. Like Iron Man swooped in to save the day, Tesla and SpaceX provided support during crisis, such as producing ventilators. Amidst the noise, the Crew Dragon was finally ready, launching astronauts to the ISS and marking the first crewed flight from US soil since 2011. Elon was stoked, calling it a dream come true and highlighting its importance for humanity's future in space. When the pandemic raged across the world, Elon was undeterred. In 2021, SpaceX started public tests for Starlink, bringing high-speed internet to remote areas. By 2022, Starlink had almost global coverage, thanks to Falcon rockets launching tons of satellites. They kept testing Starship at high altitudes, and it finally took its first orbital test flight. The Boring Company started testing the Loop system at the Las Vegas Convention Center, with Tesla vehicles too, and it officially opened itself to the public in the summer, showcasing its first operational version. Elon's vision was becoming a reality, proving that his wild ideas were possible. He also had some wild ideas about the world of internet discourse, and that would be a reason to bring the X.com brand back from the dead. On April 4th, 2022, Musk disclosed a 9.2% stake in Twitter, making him its largest shareholder. 10 days later, he offered to buy the company for $44 billion, and Twitter accepted the offer. The deal completed in October of that same year, and in April of 2023, Twitter was merged with X Holdings Corp., turning Twitter into X, the everything app. Elon has cemented his legacy for great change in the tech world, and this app is no exception. One way everything came full circle for Elon was bringing X's roots back, making the app formerly known as Twitter into a platform where you could do peer-to-peer payments, cryptocurrency transactions, and participate in other banking services, aiming to make it a one-stop shop for various digital transactions. It also has e-commerce functionalities and a marketplace for businesses to sell products and services. Connecting people is one of Elon's biggest goals with this tech. While this was happening, the Las Vegas Loop included additional stops. It extended to multiple stops along the Strip, as well as downtown Vegas and potentially the airport. This project was going so well that the city of Fort Lauderdale approved a proposal for their own tunnel system too, known as the Los Olas Loop, to connect downtown to the beach. So hey, that'll come in handy for your next vacation. You know what else will come in handy? Elon's tech on your next vacation to Mars. In 2023, Neuralink began human trials for brain-machine interfaces to treat neurological conditions. It's not hard to imagine a future Mars mission, with astronauts using Neuralink implants to operate their spacecraft. Sci-fi is quickly becoming reality under Elon. Meanwhile, Tesla kept innovating with the Cybertruck and updated Tesla semi-trucks, revolutionizing electric utility vehicles. The Megacharger network was expanding, reducing downtime and driver fatigue. All Tesla's vehicles are fully electric, contributing to global efforts for sustainable energy solutions. Clearly, the future starts with X. X.com is certainly integral to that vision. In 2024, X rolled out new monetization tools for creators, like subscription options, tipping, and ad revenue sharing, making it a force to be reckoned with, capable of competing with the online media heavyweights like YouTube. X also added group chats and community spaces to foster more interactive user engagement, as well as e-commerce functionalities, and announced partnerships with major financial institutions to offer integrated banking services. So it really seems like X.com is the everything app. Elon has yet even more ambitious ideas than the ones we've talked about, if you can believe it. He wants to expand the electric power vision of his companies even further. Elon has floated the idea of micro power grids that can operate independently or in conjunction with the main power grid, powered by Tesla technology. So when Elon describes Tesla as being something more than just a company that sells cool electric vehicles, it checks out. As he stated in an earnings call once, in the long term, Tesla is as much a power company as it is a car company. Such microgrids would allow local power generation, reducing the reliance on centralization. Not only can this provide peace of mind, it can also help in the event of natural disaster, where conventional responses can take too much time. But they can also operate in conjunction with already existing grids, making the systems modular and adaptable to any environment, from the big city to the great big countryside. They're scalable too, from small neighborhoods to sprawling urban centers. The point is, Elon is doing stuff in the world of technology and engineering nobody's done before, at least not at the scale as he's done it. Tesla is a leader in battery tech. Tesla designs its own chips for its vehicles. Tesla has significant software development. Maybe one day, you'll be watching this YouTube video on a phone with Elon's signature on it. But that's assuming his past doesn't catch up to him. What do we mean by this? Click our link in the description to watch our video on how bad is Elon Musk actually.